Hello friends, welcome to Sushmita's classroom. I hope all of you are taking good care of yourselves. Today I want to share something with you about herd immunity. I hope many of you have heard about this phrase because it is commonly used by the medical people nowadays throughout the world. I have gone through some essays and brought this conclusion for you about herd immunity. In layman's language, herd immunity means build-up of immunity. When most of the population is immune to an infectious disease, this provides indirect protection or herd immunity, also called herd protection. For example, if 80% of a population is immune to a virus, 4 out of every 5 people who encounter someone with the disease won't get sick and won't spread the disease any further. In this way, the spread of infectious diseases is kept under control, depending how contagious an infection is. Usually 70 to 90% of a population needs immunity to achieve herd immunity. You might think, how have we achieved herd immunity for other infectious diseases? Measles, mumps, polio and chickenpox are examples of infectious diseases that were once very common but are now rare in most of the countries. Because vaccines help to establish herd immunity. We sometimes see outbreaks of vaccine preventable diseases in communities with lower vaccine coverage because they don't have herd protection. Other viruses like the flu mutate over time, so antibodies from a previous infection provide protection for only a short period of time. For the flu, this is less than a year. The virus that causes COVID-19 is like other coronavirus that currently infect humans. We can expect that people who get infected will be immune for months to years, but probably not for their whole lives. Now the question is, what will it take to achieve herd immunity with SARS-CoV-2? The full form of SARS-CoV-2 is Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome Coronavirus 2. As with any other infection, there are two ways to achieve herd immunity. A large proportion of the population either gets infected or gets a protective vaccine. Based on early estimates of this virus infectionness, we will likely need at least 70% of the population to be immune to have herd protection. The worst case, the virus can infect many people in matter of few months. In the best case, we maintain current levels of infection or even reduce these levels until a vaccine becomes available. The most likely case is somewhere in the middle, where infection rates rise and fall over time. We may relax social distancing measures when number of infections fall and then may need to re-implement the measures as numbers increase again. Now, why is it not a good idea to think SARS-CoV-2 is over? With some other diseases such as chickenpox, before the vaccine was developed, people sometimes expose themselves intentionally as way of achieving immunity. But the situation is different for SARS-CoV-2. COVID-19 carries a much higher risk of severe disease and even death. The current data suggests that it is 10 times higher than the flu. Now, what should we expect in the coming months? All of you know that scientists are working furiously to develop an effective vaccine. In the meantime, as most of the population remains uninfected with SARS-CoV-2, some measures suggested by the government will be required to prevent explosive outbreak. One more report of a well-known magazine says herd immunity is how a society collectively fights off infection to keep the transmission of disease low. Experts agree that a COVID-19 vaccine, while at least several months away, is our best chance to safely achieve herd immunity and minimize infections. Without a vaccine and proper social distancing measures to break the chain of transmission in the meantime. Okay, the vaccine is our best hope to improve herd immunity, the number of people that can resist the infection when they are exposed. So the conclusion is, when a vaccine will be available, we will only be able to achieve herd immunity. Thank you. Good day.